What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, talking today about Soulja Boy, because it seems like his rather weird battle between Nintendo, YouTubers, and the gaming industry in general has finally come to an end. As of about 8 hours ago, all those weird scam consoles he put out have suddenly vanished. Now keep in mind, he still hasn't really shipped a single one. Instead, he was just taking people's money on his website and offering some pretty extreme promises of what they'd be able to play and the ROMs that would be included. Well, they're all gone. Completely. I mean, just a bit ago I actually looked at his website and they're missing. Every single bit of it. We still don't know if people are getting refunds, if he's going to try and ship people a different product, or what precisely is going on. Soulja Boy himself is also quite silent. He's just kind of put out this one cryptic tweet saying, "I had to boss up, I didn't have a choice," which seems to basically hint at the fact that he was probably handled a very big, very scary cease and desist notice. Now, I just want to say, I'm not exactly happy about this. I know in some videos I joked that he should go to jail and stuff, but he doesn't really deserve prison. I mean, Soulja Boy is just being dumb. I mean, he made a mistake. Honestly, I just want to say that right now. I don't think that anybody deserves prison time for something like minor copyright infringement. This guy is just... I mean, genuinely, I don't think he had any idea that this was against the law. And now that he got those cease and desists, and probably had some really scary Nintendo ninjas breathing down his neck, he decided to back out, which was a smart choice. But I just want to say, there were a lot of people in this situation that were flat out wrong. Like, one person was just talking to me on Twitter and saying, "DreamcastGuy, you claim that Soulja Boy doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to his Soulja Boy consoles, but that man got more lawyers than Jesus, so maybe let him handle his business." Well, two things about that. Number one, Jesus doesn't have any lawyers, so you're probably right. And number two, clearly the man didn't know what he was doing because now he's shutting everything down, and in rather big of a hurry. Now, in a scenario like this, it's hard to really see what's going on. The big picture is still so obfuscated, but it seems pretty apparent that what's probably going to happen is everybody's going to get their money back and they're just going to try and immediately sweep this under the rug. I feel like it's probably still going to cost him a couple $1 million here and there just for even trying to step up to some major companies. Trying to steal games and sell them on your own is just something you never want to try. Now, I do want to say, there have been a lot of people who have been calling me a hypocrite for trying to basically yell at Soulja Boy for selling these games because I'm somebody who actually really enjoys clone consoles and stuff like this. This is actually a ROM hack. Somebody basically got the original programming of Zelda and made their own game out of it. And obviously, I got a copy of it. This stuff is really cool, and obviously, this is also pretty, well, legally dubious. It's hard to know what the heck this stuff is. And I just want to say that, yeah, it's true. Stuff like that is a little bit bizarre. But I think that there is a big difference between ROM hacks and clone consoles and flat out on your website claiming that you are going to be selling Nintendo Switch games on your console. Those are giant leaps apart, and frankly, it's a little bit weird to try and blend the two. Now, I'm not somebody who likes to gloat. I'm not, at all. But just for a second, I do want to let out my inner demons. We're going to be unleashing DreamcastGuy just to get his opinion on this whole scenario because, well, honestly, it's something that's kind of silly. Alright, here we go. Let me focus and unleash the beast. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and frankly, this whole scenario is quite silly to see in action, because people have tried to rip off Nintendo in the past. A lot of people in this case were probably taking their own piece out of Soulja Boy because he was infringing on so many different varieties of copyright, but one company you never want to step up to is Nintendo, because it seems like Nintendo, in general, likes to eat people. They go up, they get all the gooey bits, and they cram them into their mouth. They just can't resist. Nintendo loves trying to hack down and try and find leakers, programmers, anybody that they think is even coming close to infringing on their copyright. So what did he think was going to happen? I mean, seriously, that's the most freaking crazy part of this whole scenario is who really looks at Nintendo games and goes, yeah, I can get away with stealing that. That's part of the reason that I fully believe that Soulja Boy is not at all a gamer. Because if he was, he would have at least Googled Can I sell Nintendo games legally? He would have just Googled that, but he didn't. He had no idea what he was getting into. Messing with Sega, sometimes people get away with it. Not a lot, but it happens. Messing with Square Enix and selling RPGs against the permission, that doesn't really slide. Digging into Sony or Microsoft, you're asking for trouble. But the big in, you might as well just quit before you even start. That's really what's just kind of get me the most is, come on, buddy. You know what, Soulja Boy, your music was pretty thrill in the past. I mean, I'm not exactly the biggest person into rap, but I just gotta laugh at the fact that you thought you were gonna manage to avoid court. Come on, buddy. What did you think would really take place here? You can't just do that. This reminds me of the fact that people used to try and rip off a lot of superheroes back in the day. They would make unofficial Spider-Man movies and freaking big Thor rip-offs and stuff. And every single one of those people got eaten one by Marvel. And now that they're owned by Disney, you can't even freaking sell a picture of freaking Chris Redfield's biceps in a crossover comic with freaking the Avengers without having 15 cease and desists drop onto your desk. You gotta think, in the age of copyright, everything is somebody's piece of the pie. Think about this. Oh man, you know what, I just want to say, there are a lot of very skilled lawyers out there that are on the internet that want to give you advice, that want to help you out. And when you do stuff like this, it's so freaking funny. Soulja Boy, I hope you don't go to jail, but come on, buddy. I really hope that somebody leaks all those court notes, because I guarantee you, it's just gonna be you in court being like, oh man, that's illegal? Oh yeah, I did that. Oh, that's illegal? Oh yeah, I totally did that. Oh, it's just too funny not to chuckle at. Okay, well, this has been DreamcastGuy, just trying to get all the badness out of the universe. I'm gonna let in my inner good again. There's a real moral to this story that I hope isn't overlooked, which is that everybody does screw up from time to time. I've made videos that were really dumb. I've made stuff that used accidentally way incorrect information. I've done reviews where I flat out messed up something about the leveling system or didn't understand the crafting system. The whole point is being able to step back, acknowledge where you screwed up, and improve in the future. That's it. I really hope that Soulja Boy takes this as a learning experience. The guy is still touring the world, making crazy cash, and managing to get in headlines. So I hope he doesn't just flat out quit. I do hope he doesn't try and come back to the games industry, because this dude clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. But in general, I hope that he's not permanently scared away for all of eternity. Hey, this is DreamcastGuy in the future, and I'm actually editing the video right now, making that really awful face, and I realized I forgot to actually say right here that you should probably leave the games industry completely. I actually have a big problem with the fact that Soulja Boy's trying to jump in with his esports team. I'm very aggravated by the people who get a ton of money and just try and bulldoze their way into the gaming business. Like, you see that so much in other freaking industries. Like, basically you'll see fake giant companies that'll try and basically create fake makeup brands and stuff like that. And I'm afraid of that happening here. Super millionaires just forcing something to be successful. If they have the best equipment and best way to market it, they just suddenly make $80 billion. And quite frankly, I would hate to see somebody just literally come from the outside and make a huge esports team and $1 billion like that just because they started out rich. Seriously, don't do that. If you want to try and invest in somebody who's already established and already doing things good, maybe try that. Okay, back to the video. This is a chance to figure yourself out. Nothing more, nothing less. But I still think that this whole thing is something that is going to be talked about for a long time. It's one of the first chances we've seen of somebody with a ton of wealth attempting their best to flat out scam people, and obviously it was an experiment that was doomed for failure at the very, very start. But what do you guys think of it? I just want to know your raw thoughts about this whole Soulja Boy situation. The beginning, the middle, and the end of it. Did you try and pre-order one? Did you actually pay cash for these? And what did you expect? I mean, I'm actually genuinely curious most about that. The people who did buy this thing, did you really think that this would have a happy ending? Because from the very start, I knew that this was going to end up in a very drawn-out court battle and nothing else. This is probably going to be the last video I ever make talking about this because, quite frankly, I bet everybody's going to be signing NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, and from here on out, everything's probably going to be top secret. But still, it was a very funny but very short roller coaster. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.